I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Music Theory Tuition series where I work with you step by step through the ABRSM Discovering Music Theory grades. I'll work through every single exercise and explain everything you need to know. You can access information about the books I have available to help you on my website. Go to sharonbill.com. For advert-free and longer lessons, you can become a patron at patreon.com/SharonBill. If you can give me a like, that would be super, and please do subscribe to my channel to stay updated. You can support this channel by buying me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/SharonBill. Let's move on to page 26 of the Grade 2 Discovering Music Theory workbook, and we continue with the topic of the major scales of B flat major, E flat major and A major, and we get to learn our new keys that are needed to make these scales correct, because remember, we need to make sure that we get this correct arrangement of tones and semitones in order for it to be the major scale. And if we remember the appropriate key signatures, that will do the job for us without too much thought. However, sometimes a question may ask us for accidentals instead of key signatures. It's the same thing. They can only ask us the same thing, but in a different sort of presentation. B flat major has only ever going to have B flats and E flats. Sometimes we could write that as a key signature, which is what we worked on in the previous exercise. However, sometimes we might be asked to write them as accidentals, and that means we need to write them next to each note as and when required. So the information is exactly the same, we're just applying it in a different way. And so if we work let's work through these first two together, and then you can perhaps have a go at some on your own. So B flat major requires B flats and E flats in order to make the correct arrangement of notes for the major scale. We're in the treble clef here, so we just literally have to add the flat next to each note as required. And if you're comfortable with the treble clef, you can just go ahead and do that straight away. But if you feel like the treble clef isn't your clef of choice, there's nothing preventing you from thinking, well, I know that starts on a B flat, or at least a note B for the moment, and then we can step up. It goes B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. So depending upon which instrument you play, you may find it helpful to just label these notes to just help you so that you're only really thinking about what really needs to be considered. You know, let's make it as easy as we can and take things a step at a time. And so, of course, B flat major must have B flats. And so we need to write that at the beginning and the end. And we write it before the note, because I know in words we say B flat, but we need to write in music flat B, because of course we need to know it's flattened before we play it. There's no good playing the note and then thinking, oh shucks, that should have been flattened. We need to know beforehand. And we also need to make sure that we position the flat sign exactly as we would the note, so that if it's on a line, the line goes through the middle of the flat. If it's a space, I'm perhaps a little bit off there myself, aren't I? There we go. So it's sort of in the same place as the space would be, not overlapping. And so here we've got our B flats, we just need the E flat, and there we go. And so if we press on to the next, we have A major. We're in the bass clef now. Now we are descending. Ascending means going up, descending means coming down. And so we could either go backwards and just go A, G, F, and so on. But if you find that quite tricky, just start at the bottom. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. And so let's consider now, what is it that A major requires to make it fit the correct arrangements of notes? And ordinarily we'd think of a key signature of F sharps, C sharps and G sharps. And so we need to add those now into this scale as accidentals and not as a key signature. We never have both. It would be kind of doing the same job twice. That isn't how it works at all. It's one or the other. And so here's our F, which we need to sharpen. Remember, before the note, placing the sharp so the line goes through the centre of the box, sort of tall and thin. And it's these middle notes that cross over that are slightly diagonal. So F sharps, C sharps, the box is in the space that the note is in. You can see there. And then we have G sharps. And so although they come in a different order in the scale, depending which note you start on, I would always prefer to go F sharps, C sharps, G sharps, and then I know I'm not going to have forgotten one just because I'm going in the order of the scale. And so that sort of illustrates what's required for this exercise 3. So perhaps you could now continue. So I suggest that you have a go of the rest of these and then we can check through them together. So I'm hoping you've had a go of this. So let's now just quickly work through these to double check that everything is correct. So here we have E flat major. We're in the bass clef and we are descending. And so if you're not happy in the bass clef, you could always write quickly E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. That's rather too quickly there. Now E flat major, if you remember, has a key signature of B flats, E flats and A flats. So we need to add those now as accidentals next to the notes that require them. So here is our B, which needs to be flattened before the note, remember. E flat will come twice, so this has got to sort of like hover where the line would be. And then here's our final E flat. At the bottom of the scale, we get the tonic needs flattening twice, and then the A flat will finish that for us, just so. Now we have A flat major in the treble clef, and A major, not A flat major, dear me. A major has sharps, F, C, G sharps. And so here we have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, just going upwards. We are ascending. And so F sharps, C sharps, and G sharps. There we go. We dealt with B flat major before, but now we are in the bass clef and we are descending, but the principle remains the same. B flat major has B flats and E flats. We're going to need the B flat at the start and the bottom of the scale. It's a bit tricky, this one here, because we've got quite a few ledger lines. So if you find that tricky, you know that it's got to end on B, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. Of course, that's now B flat, and we need to make this one E flat. And finally, let's now finish with E flat major, which we dealt with before, but now it's in the treble clef and it's ascending. So if we want to just make life easy for ourselves, we know it begins on E. Of course, it's flat, but we'll deal with that in a moment. E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. E flat major has a key signature of B flats, E flats and A flats. And so let's do that in order. B flats. The E flat will come twice because the tonic, the first and the last degree of the scale, the 1 and 8, both need to be flat. The tonic is E flat, both times of course, and then A flat will correctly finish that scale. I hope this is helpful to your studies. Please do like and subscribe to stay updated. If you'd like to support this channel, you can buy me a coffee, and for advert-free lessons, you can become a patron. Do visit my website where you'll find many resources available to help you. Visit sharonbill.com. Thanks for watching. Bye.